Yo, today, guys, we're reacting to this new video. It just dropped a couple weeks ago. It's called Every Rap Industry Plant Explained in 13 Minutes.
Every single one
Dude, there's no way they can name every single one in only 13 minutes.
in 13 minutes. Yeah, there's no way, dude.
Dude, I feel like they'd have to go all the way back in time to some of the first musicians.
Yeah, like honestly, some of the first rappers ever were probably industry plants, and we just don't know it.
Yeah, dude, I feel like for a long time now, media has been used to guide the public in a certain direction. And back in the day when it wasn't just you blow up on SoundCloud or on the internet, I feel like the people were and the music was very carefully curated to make us feel and think certain ways.
Yeah, like damn near everybody was an industry plant back then because there was really no way to get into music without being one.
Yeah, it's like the only people who could really listen to music like way back in the day is like kings and shit, because they would literally have choirs or people hired to do the performances. And then for like public plays and stuff, they would probably sing a certain type of song, but then privately for the king, they would probably play another certain type of song specifically.
Yeah, a way better song for him.
Yeah, for different reasons. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's see what this video is all about, dude.
From a rapper that collaborated with Juice WRLD and Justin Bieber. From a rapper that collaborated with Juice WRLD and Justin Bieber before he could even drive, to going from studying to hanging out with
Kid
Taylor
Leroy.
Swift at a Super Bowl overnight.
Ice Spice, dude.
Yep.
Yep.
Drake feature on just his second song.
Oh, that's that guy with the fucking crazy contradicting image versus vocals. And remember, this is the singer guy.
The singer guy. Oh, Four Bats.
Four Bats, yeah.
This is every rap industry plan explained, and whether it's a fair label or not.
Oh, what?
It looks like it's
Icy.
all of them. Yeah, Icy Narco.
Ice
who's
Spice
that?
Smiley.
Yeah, Smiley right there.
Oh, dude, this is
forget what-
Lil Gumex?
Yeah, that's what his name is.
Something
Yeah,
like that. Gumex or something?
something like that. It looks like he's got all of them from like recent years though, like not going all the way back, but like probably from like 2015 on, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like the past like 10 years.
And there, who's this? Probably Kid Leroy.
Kid Leroy back there.
Is that... Dude, imagine this is that interviewer chick. This is the Bobby Althoff.
Bobby Alta.
Not.
No, I was
I'll
gonna
leave
say
that-
that's like Georgiana or something.
Oh, yeah, it could be.
Fair label or not, I'll leave that up for you to decide. Starting with rap's first ever industry plants, the Sugar Hill Gang.
Oh,
Back in
he's
19
going back all the way.
He is. That's the first rap group.
That's fire, dude.
Starting with rap's first ever industry plants, the Sugar Hill Gang. Back in 1979, producer Sylvia Robinson from Sugar Hill Records noticed rap music was exploding in popularity within New York City clubs, and she wanted to capitalize on this by bringing it to the mainstream.
Wait,
So,
hold on. So they weren't the first rap group ever then?
Yeah, that's what I caught too, bro.
Because she said she noticed that rap was gaining popularity. So who were the rappers before that?
That's a good question, because if we type
was
it into...
probably-
Go ahead.
It's probably just some dudes from the Bronx.
Yeah, dude, if we Googled it right now, like who's the first rappers, what's the first rap song, it would bring up Sugar Hill Gang. So the real truth, apparently to this video, is that there were just a bunch of rappers already. There were people rapping, creating that sound before it got mainstream and modernized.
I mean, I guess you could say that it's a play on words. Like you could say, like, yeah, it's the first commercially popular rap song.
Yeah,
So in that sense, it still would be right, but it's definitely not the first rap song ever.
yeah.
grabbed three rappers, Wonder Mike, Master G, and Big Bank Hank to form the Sugar Hill Gang. The trio was then thrown into a studio where they recorded Rapper's Delight over a disco loop, and the song exploded, rocketing up the Billboard charts almost overnight, turning three nobodies into stars, and bringing the then underground genre into the mainstream. However, despite being industry plants, literally formed by a label and pushed into the spotlight, the Sugar Hill Gang is ultimately responsible for knocking over the first domino of proving rap could sell, opening the door for every artist you know and love today.
We got it.
Hey,
Is that supposed to be Tyler the Creator?
I think so, and I'm pretty sure on the left is that like Kendrick or something.
It's probably
Or who's-
supposed to be. It looks like TJ Academics though.
Yeah,
This guy's the record label owner since he's a lizard.
yeah, he's a lizard person. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
I was thinking the guy on the left looked like Jalen Brunson, bro. On the
They just randomly throw an NBA player in there.
Speaking of popular modern stars, our next alleged industry plant, the Kid Leroy, went from being
So
a
he
local
went from-
Australian kid
okay,
to a
this is-
global-
He skipped a lot.
Yeah, he skipped a lot, bro. He went from 1970 all the way to like 40 years later, like 45 years later, bro.
Yeah, dude, hear it from us first. almost every single rapper before the internet was an industry plant. Every single
Yeah,
one.
like
I mean, they're talented. Like, I love Lil Wayne. I love him to death. But he was raised as a baby to be the best rapper in the world.
right. I'd say he was one of the last of that. Like him and like Drake and stuff. They were like the last industry plants from that era because like after that, that's when like Dat Piff came out and like My
Yeah.
Hot mixtapes.
Yeah,
And
bro.
and then people were just posting their music online and some of it was getting popping and like that's when you would get like the Young Thugs. Like Young Thug was not an industry plant.
Mm-hmm.
Young Thug got posted or
Oh,
was
you know what it
grinding
is?
years.
Soldier Boy is the what is it? He's the limit. He right there. Everybody after
Yeah.
Soldier Boy is it could be an industry plant, but probably not. They probably got some traction on their own, built this skill. Everybody before Soldier Boy, dude, somebody held their hand through the whole thing.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Superstar.
Soldier
before
Boy
he
was the
could legally
first
drive.
non-industry plant rapper.
Yes. He was. He's the first rapper that's not an industry plant. Fucking devious too. He came up with all the modern marketing methods. All of them.
Yeah, bro.
In 2019, at just 15 years old, Leroy was signed to Grade A in Columbia, and shortly after, his song Let Her Go went viral, seemingly out of nowhere. But industry plant accusations didn't truly begin until 2020, when Stay, a collaboration with Justin Bieber, dropped and topped the charts for months, leaving fans shocked at just how quickly the kid Leroy arrived and who he arrived with. Skeptics pointed out that his parents had connections with the industry, and since his success came shortly after a Juice WRLD cosign, Leroy's fame felt engineered and inauthentic. He was made out to seem like a talented kid who just got lucky, when in reality, he had a massive head start.
It would have worked for me too if like nobody made a video about it. Like,
Yeah.
because usually a rap collab, it could just give you the eyes you need, you know, if you're talented enough. So when I first saw Kid Leroy blow up, I thought it was natural.
Yeah. Honestly, that's why I don't get why more people don't just play into it being an industry plant because like people are gonna eventually find out. You cannot hide that fact. Like you could lie all you want and try to drag it out, but eventually people are gonna find out when you're actually famous that you were helped and you were an industry plant. So like if you come out and you tell people that first, that's gonna create a lot of like controversy and like, oh, is he an industry plant? He said he was. Oh, maybe he's just lying. You know, like
Yeah,
I feel like people should just come out and say it. Like,
I
what
think
is
you're right.
what's the harm in that?
Like, yeah, Kid Leroy could have said a long time ago, yeah, my mom knew a guy connected us, got me in the studio with Juice WRLD, because she works for the
Yeah.
music industry.
And like, it's not going to change anything. You're already an industry plant, so you're going to be famous regardless.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter what people think, really.
And Kid Leroy's talented. It's not like a Two Hollis, where Two Hollis is good at making crazy beats, but like vocals are kind of crazy. But his parents are in the music industry, so they got him in. Like, he's one of those where he would probably get tons of hate if he actually admitted that. But Kid Leroy wouldn't. He's got beautiful vocals and good raps.
Yeah, people would stand behind him no matter what.
Yeah.
But unlike some other industry plants on our list, the Kid Leroy has continued to deliver hit after hit. So while he did have a massive initial advantage, his talent is real. However, while Leroy had serious help from his label, our next artist didn't. Tommy Richmond, after dropping single $1 Million Baby,
Oh my
exploded
God,
into the
this
main-
guy is the industry plant of the century, bro.
I've never even heard of him, bro.
He does that song called $1 Million Baby.
Oh.
It literally came out of nowhere. It was like his first song ever and just blew up, bro. Like he was
Like,
on
literally
Post
over-
Malone level of industry plant, bro. Like
How did I miss him?
night. Social media, specifically TikTok, meant Richmond was now everywhere, to the point where you couldn't escape $1 Million
Oh, I remember.
no matter
Okay.
how hard you tried. But it was this rapid rise which saw the industry plant label stamped all over Tommy. Fans debated on social media that labels had pulled strings to get his single into the mainstream, following the same thought process applied to anyone who ascends quickly, that they must have been planted. Yet after well-known artists like Russ and outlets such as Complex detailed Tommy's decade-long journey of creating music, the industry plant talk shut down as quickly as $1 Million Baby rose the charts. An eerily similar story of our next rapper,
so
Doechii, because
Is he saying he is or isn't?
I don't know. He kind of just skipped over that one. Like he still could be an industry plant. Like he could have sold his soul 10 years later. He could have been like, fuck this ain't working. Like, let me go a different route.
Yeah, I guess the term industry plant kind of gets thrown around, but we're not really defining it. I guess
mean,
an industry plant is somebody who, in my eyes, didn't put in any marketing work themselves, I guess. Like they put out a
So
couple
if
songs,
somebody,
and then somebody came and gave them a whole package and brand and marketing idea and all. You know, then that's an industry plant, right? If somebody,
so like the last guy, Tommy, he grinded for 10 years in the music game, and then eventually ended up. It's what it sounds like. He sold out, and they pushed his music to the very top of the charts. So like, would you consider that an industry plant still, or do you think that's just someone who grinded and got fed up and was like, nah, let me just do what everyone else is doing? Did he figure it out, or is he an industry plant?
I don't know, dude. I'm confused at what an industry plant even is right now because I'm thinking, I'm like, dude, is just signing to a label make you an industry plant? No, not necessarily, right?
Yeah. So then,
So,
under that logic, then I guess Tommy wouldn't be.
so what the heck is an industry plant then? It's somebody
Someone who
where
was gonna be famous before they even realized it. You know what I mean? Like,
it's like somebody who doesn't have the talent to become famous, but they were given the budget to become famous. Is that an industry plant?
I feel like that is.
I also feel like it doesn't have anything to do with talent, though. You know, you could be an industry plant and be the best artist ever, but like, I feel like it's somebody investing in you early, like knowing this guy's going to be the biggest artist ever. Why don't we just skip the process of him struggling
Yeah. Instead
and
of
just put
building your
him?
own fan base, you skip the initial fan base.
You skip the struggle step of being an artist. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Let's see if Doshi fits with this.
An eerily similar story of our next rapper, Doechii. Because thanks to her sudden rise and signing to Kendrick Lamar's label, Top Dog Entertainment, the label's first ever female rapper, many fans wondered if Doechii was an industry plant. Because after breaking out in 2020 with single Yucky Blucky Fruitcake, then touring with SZA, followed up by her 2022 TDE signing and Doechii's debut album,
Just double checking.
Alligator Bites Never Heal, winning Best Rap Album at the Grammys, the evidence was apparently there. However, a dive into Doechii's background reveals something different. Starting her career in 2015, Doechii had been grinding like any true creative, writing and performing whenever she got the chance, trying to get better at her craft daily, and after 5 years of dedication, her self-funded Yucky Blucky Fruitcake is what got her in TDE's crosshairs. Doechii would then simply laugh at the accusations, claiming that they mean she's doing something right, and that even if she was an industry plant, her talent is real. Another female rapper who rose to
He's not going deep enough into this.
Yeah. I feel like the title of the video is Industry Plants Explained, but he's not really explaining any of them. Like,
Oh,
no disrespect or anything, but got to explain a little bit.
but what we can infer from that is Doja Cat put in at least 9 years of work before she got some eyes. So
insane levels of fame seemingly out of nowhere was Iggy Azalea, an Australian teenager who moved to the US, bouncing between Miami and Atlanta, before being discovered by
And
artists.
he's bouncing around too. This was from like 2010, bro. Like you literally, you were in like 2020 right here,
yeah,
and
dude,
you
this
just went back like a whole 10 years.
this comes before Kid Leroy.
Yeah, bro. Facts.
Yeah, dude. It's funny. I thought it was Bobby Altoff.
It looks like Taylor Swift, bro.
Iggy Azalea though, I kind of feel this one.
No, she's
I'm
for
gonna
sure.
let
Yeah.
break it down, but yeah, dude, I think she is.
Levels of fame seemingly out of nowhere was Iggy Azalea, an Australian teenager who moved to the US, bouncing between Miami and Atlanta, before being discovered by artist T.I., who co-signed Iggy. Then in 2014, Azalea's debut
Running through the checkered flag, running through the red light.
I'd say you can have whatever you like.
Hey.
album, The New Classic, exploded. Her song Fancy went on to hold the #1 spot on charts for 2
That shit was so popular, bro.
Bro, and that's the thing. If it wasn't for Charlie XCX, that song wouldn't have been so poppin', I don't think, would it?
Charlie XCX?
Wasn't she on the chorus of that song?
Yeah.
Charlie XCX, yeah. So,
You're
like,
right.
definite industry plant right there.
Cause how'd she get that feature on
How'd she get that feature on her first song? Yeah.
Yep.
2 straight months, crowning Iggy as the first non-American female rapper to ever achieve this, resulting in Iggy Azalea now being everywhere. Awards, radio shows, top 100 lists, you could literally
And now just neon streams.
Now she blue balls neon for a living.
Now just neon streams and Playboy Cardi meme pages.
Like a true industry plant.
not escape her. Which is why many people felt she was purposely planted, believing the industry fast-tracked her success to push a white foreign artist in a black-dominated genre, since Azalea was more pop-friendly. Combine this with the authenticity debates, Iggy being an Australian who somehow now had a southern accent, used American slang, and that her biggest songs were co-written by existing stars, fans truly believe she was engineered in a lab by executives. But Iggy pushed back, sharing that she moved to the States alone at 16, worked odd jobs to support her dream, and created music long before T.I. found her. However, on the other hand, when the industry support for her was at its peak, Iggy was a superstar. Yet when the backing dropped after 2015, Azalea fell too, seemingly confirming what fans believed all along. A story very similar to...
Yeah, see, that's a true industry plant right there.
Yep, because as soon as the funding stopped, so did the career.
There's no talent to back it up. I feel like maybe talent does play a part in this because, like, someone who is talented, at least they can maintain their career. And you can say, like, oh, maybe they weren't an industry plant. Maybe they were just right place, right time.
Mm. Yeah, dude. Once you learn about industry plants, all your childhood heroes you kind of realize what they really were. Like Lil Mosey, he was like one of my favorite rappers, and I still think to this day he's pretty good. But now that the funding stopped, nobody cares about him, and I'm realizing, oh, like he might not be an industry plant, but if people don't care about him unless he has $1 million budget to push it out to hundreds of millions of people, then like what anybody could be Lil Mosey.
Yeah, maybe he's just not that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To that of our next rapper, Jumex, an artist who blew up in 2018, but not due to any of his music. No, a high school crash out video propelled him into the mainstream, and people who saw the clip often then discovered his emo rap music. Songs such as Trapped and Loner saw Jumex rise to SoundCloud fame, and he was now touted as the next big emo rap star. But it was here where things started to feel off. Cause Jumex already had high-level management, was sharing perfect music videos and booking festival slots without any real catalog. Fans felt his rise was rushed, too perfect, and therefore inauthentic. Then when leaks surfaced of Jumex asking other artists to help write his music, a major red flag for a genre built on sharing personal pain, the hype surrounding Jumex fell off.
Yeah, bro,
fast.
Jumex's career was like the most short-lived career I think I've ever seen in my entire life because like as soon as he came out, people were already accusing him of being an industry plant. And I really think he only got a chance to drop like 5 to 10 songs before he was completely just like disregarded as an artist.
Dude, this was a disgusting era of industry plants too. Like, I bet he's gonna miss all of these, but there was Kid Boo, a fucking clone. Dude, there was fucking Icy Narco. There was Diego, what's his name? Fucking
Lil
Xan. So like this fucking colorful hair face tat, like industry plant wave was going, dude. They were constantly pushing at least 5 of those psychos into our feeds, trying to get us to buy into the next thing, but they just didn't hit like X or Juice World or
Yeah, it got old way too quick.
Yeah.
As it rose. Speaking of SoundCloud rappers, Icy Narco, a 19-year-old Miami native, came up overnight thanks to his song, Link. While the track itself brought attention, his image, the colored hair, face tattoos, and energy seemingly mimicking that of other popular stars, Lil Pump and XXXTentacion saw not only fans, but labels going wild for Narco. Because shortly after Link dropped, Icy signed to 10K Projects, who booked him on international tours.
No
Dude, that's
way.
the thing. I actually don't think Icy Narco's music is that bad. Like his music is actually pretty good.
I can't believe he got sent to 10K Projects though. That's Elliot Grange. That's Trippie Redd. That's fucking that's 6ix9ine. That's like a budget and team that could take you to #1 in the entire world.
Pushed him into the mainstream and onto the XXL freshman list. But this sudden rise saw the industry plant label quickly stamped on.
Dude, you know what the thing is with him? Is the branding was too perfect. It was ice and blue, and it was just too uniformed, and it didn't feel human.
Yeah, that's where they lost it. Like they tried to copy people like Trippie Redd, who like always has his hair dyed red. You know what I mean? Like that's not a whole thing.
Yeah,
that's one part about him that like people gravitated towards.
Yeah, and I feel like that, like probably 6 months before this guy blew up, they're like, okay, your new thing is blue, icy. That's your whole theme. Every song, every lyric, everything you wear, every post has to be wrapped in this package. And then all the initial fans he might have had, I don't know, they're like, what is this? Why did you put on this costume now?
Icy Narco. Fans critiqued that he just looked and sounded like every other Florida rapper, dubbing him Lil Pump 2.0, and accusing Narco of just recycling a proven blueprint, rather than creating his own lane. However, Icy fans pushed back. Link did go viral on its own, and Icy Narco was just leaning into what was working, rather than taking a risk to break into a scene which is already oversaturated. So, was he planted? Well, his initial hype was real, but once labels arrived, the push was heavy, and the boost fell off fast. Really fast, leaving us to question, was the rise even real? Yet our next artist's ascension was very clearly manufactured, because when Baby Goth arrived onto the scene with her debut song...
Oh, that's Baby Goth?
Baby Goth, dude.
Dude, I remember looking into her too. I was like, I was like, yo, how is she blowing up? How is it she in rooms with all these big rappers? And she's just like a shy, scared girl, emo girl. And her music's so mid. I was like, what is going on, dude?
Yeah, I never got into Baby Goth, bro.
I was like, what? How did she get a No Jumper interview?
Swimming, with features from heavy hitters Trippie Redd and Wiz Khalifa, fans waved industry plant flags immediately. Goth had no SoundCloud era, no background of work, just an instant signing to Republic Records. And when fans dug into her background, some shocking things were revealed. Baby Goth's image, the colorful hair, face tattoos, cute,
But low
emo
key, bro,
vibe,
who would say no to that? Like, who would like, oh, you know, maybe you started making music, or maybe you're just modeling or whatever, and you're in the realm, and a label approaches you and they're like, hey, we'll give you $200,000 if you just make an album. You know, what are you gonna say no? No, you're not gonna say no.
Hell no.
You're gonna say hell yeah, whatever I need to do.
Hacks, dude.
So I really can't be mad at it, but creates so many mid artists.
Yeah. And then, dude, it's a snowball effect. Because all the rappers who are on the come up, they look towards the rappers that are big at the time for inspiration. And if their inspiration is ass, then all the rappers at the bottom trying to improve, they're going to be ass too.
meticulously curated, and personal details were hidden to protect the mysterious goth teen persona, resulting in the backlash hitting hard. The industry plant label stuck to Goth, and just a year after her arrival, Baby Goth had essentially vanished, citing that scrutiny and rumors wrecked her mental health and pushed her away from music. Now imagine blowing up so quickly that you go from the Bronx to hanging out with Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl essentially overnight. Crazy story, right? Well, for Ice Spice, after she dropped Munch halfway through 2022, is exactly what happened to her. Spice's song went viral. Whether it was being used as a meme or listeners actually liked it, didn't matter. The hype was real, and Ice Spice was quickly signed to 10K Projects in Capital. But the hits didn't stop.
10K Projects is the home of the industry plant, bro.
It seems like it, dude.
Elliot Grange must have a crazy artist development team to where they just take random people off the street, dress them up like superstars, lock them in the studio, get them in debt 100K, and just fucking...
Yeah, I was gonna
Help
say
them
it
out.
works. It works really well for the label.
Yeah, dude.
The artist kind of gets screwed over sometimes, but like the label is probably making hella money off of all these people.
Yeah, as a record label owner, Elliot's probably like, nah, we don't need studios, don't need engineers, don't need marketing teams. We just need costume designers. Costume designers, we'll hire 100 of them.
Boys a Liar Part 2 with Pink Panthers flew to the top of the charts, a collab with Nicki Minaj soon followed, and suddenly you couldn't get away from Ice Spice. Magazine covers, social media, award shows, and even the Super Bowl, which is exactly why the industry plant accusations arose. Critiques questioned how someone could jump from DIY videos to chart-topping hits in under a year. The cosigns, initially from Drake, were almost instant. Her branding was flawless, and skeptics felt it was too perfect, carefully curated for maximum success. But the reality was Munch wasn't engineered by executives. It just went viral, initially locally in the New York drill scene, and then worldwide. And once Spice signed to a label, she never acted as if she was independent. So, is Ice Spice really an industry plant? Kinda. Really, she just timed everything perfectly, and all her label did was provide gasoline to the fire she had already lit. Exactly like our next rapper, Ian Dior.
Ian Dior.
He never mentioned if Ice Spice has been grinding music for 10 years like these other ones.
He said she used to make like DIY videos, and then a year later she was a viral hit that was produced by executives. Like, so it does seem pretty industry planty to me. Like he said, maybe she just did everything right at the right time and was already set to blow up, and they just propelled her.
She's a successful industry plant, and I think it's because, like, the problem with all the other ones is it was an oversaturated niche. But Ice Spice, it's a New York girl. It's a New York girl. That's
yeah,
like
you never really heard a New York girl drill rapper before this, you know?
Yeah. Like, this is a completely different lane. This is a completely blue waters. Like, industry
And she
plant
plays
method.
into the memes.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a girl of the internet. She's not just doing what the labels say. She's doing extra, showing her personality. Yeah, dude. So far, she's my favorite industry plant from the whole thing, I think.
Whose sound hit the scene at the exact right moment. Ian began posting his music in 2019, but unlike most
So it
artists,
seems like
Dior was signed to
he's not deep diving into each artist. He's kind of just explaining the different types of industry plants, if you will.
Yeah, that
Like
makes
the
sense.
people that get accused of being industry plants and the differences between them all.
That's cool. So we get a full picture of all the different kinds we got out there.
Yeah.
at Money and 10K Projects just months after he arrived. Then came his
Dude,
two
10K
hit songs,
again.
Gone Girl featuring
Yo,
Trippie
every single time, dude.
You
Gone
gotta
Girl,
watch out for 10K projects, bro.
dude, Gone Girl was a fire song. That one was definitely the best Ian Dior song ever. Holy smokes, bro.
Red, and appearing on Mood with 24K Golden.
Oh, that one was a banger too, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Thanks
24K
to the
Golden's
latter-
low-key an industry plant as well.
Yeah, low key. As soon as his funding stopped, you never heard a word about him, dude.
Yeah.
They funded that guy for one album. His next album was not funded at all. He tried though. He tried dropping it, and then I haven't heard from him since.
Yeah.
Featuring Trippie Redd and appearing on Mood with 24K Golden. Thanks to the latter spending 8 weeks at number 1, Ian Dior was already near the top of the game with just a year of experience. And that's when the industry plant talk began. From the outside, his rise looked too clean. Quick label backing, big budget videos, and high profile features. Plus, the lack of a messy rise, or experimentation to find his lane, saw fans accusing his label of fast-tracking him to fill the Juice WRLD hole. But instead of debating these claims, Ian Dior leaned into it, naming his debut album Industry Plant, stating, "This is my way of saying I am what I say I am." While most artists
did
on
like
this
that.
list came from little
Yeah.
More people need to just play into it, and it would actually work.
Yeah, I like when people play into what the internet's calling them.
to nothing, our next rapper Smiles had much more than
Dude,
industry
this
backing.
guy, what the?
Because debuting originally as Jack Bruno in 2018, Smiles already had stars like Playboi Carti featuring on his songs. But when that persona failed, he just invented a new one. Yellow everything. Hair, outfits, and a smiley face buzzed into his hair. Smiles dropped his debut song, Head Shoulders, to an audience of 300 monthly listeners. Okay, so what? Why are we talking about him? Well, the next day, on rapper 6ix9ine's Fresh Outta Prison album, guess who was featured? That's right, Smiles. Fans were left puzzled as to
At
who he
300
actually
monthly
was. And why
listeners.
Dude, that's crazy. And then the 6ix9ine album drops the next day. And then right after that, I'm pretty sure his 300 goes to like 20K, dude. Holy shit.
was he on the album? But when they
Actually, no, because he's linked into the 6ix9ine album. So the next day, it actually goes to like 1 million.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Bro.
discovered Head Shoulders was released through Create Music Group, the same company who represented 6ix9ine, everything started to make sense. Turns out Smiles is the son of a top executive of the Tony and Guy empire, and allegedly lives in a $50 million LA mansion. But Smiles doesn't hide it. Instead,
Wow.
he embraces it, being 100% open about his background and always working hard as an artist to earn his own money to back his career. Yet, in a genre built on struggle and authenticity, the label of a nepo baby rapper sticks, and has ultimately harmed Smiles' image. However, while some artists like Smiles grind for years and years, exploring various genres and personas before receiving any recognition,
Dude, I feel for people like this. Like,
He tried to do it the right way, bro.
dude, when you're given everything as a kid, dude, it takes a certain type of drive to become really good at art, any kind of art. And usually that requires struggle. So, like, imagine being able to do anything you want, anytime. You know, you're completely free, financially free to do anything. Why would you lock yourself in the room all alone and make music? Like,
Well, yeah, but also, like, you gotta kind of respect it. Like, after hearing his story, I don't actually hate this guy.
Yeah.
Because, like, he's kind of like the Buddha. You know, the Buddha came from a rich family and had everything he ever wanted, but he chose to give that up and go live in poverty and learn what it's like so that he didn't spoil his brain. You know, like, because if you're living a $15 million mansion your whole life, like, you're gonna think everything's just handed to you. And if you go out and you actually seek, like, no, you actually have to work for stuff. Like, I respect that.
yeah. Yeah, I like that he's doing that. But then, I guess the caveat to my point I was saying earlier is, like, I would think that he would be way more talented because he has all this free time and money and he could practice. But I understand why he's not super talented. And it's probably because he could do anything, you know?
Yeah, he doesn't want to sit there and practice all day.
Yeah. He has way more temptations than a broke rapper does. Way more.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right. Him deciding to build something on his own, even though he already has everything, is like an act to keep his sanity and his mind and character intact. Yeah.
our next rapper, 4Bats, seemingly appeared out of thin air as a chart-topping rapper. His breakout song, Act 2 Date at 8, went viral on both TikTok and YouTube, specifically the music video posted on 4 Shooters Only, which took a traditional rap background and contrasted it with Bats' angelic voice, stunning viewers. 4Bats then grew to 10 million plus listeners on Spotify.
I already know the story of this one, dude. They're gonna say that some like A&R, it's a chick, reached out to him and helped him develop an image.
Yeah, this
Spotify
one,
almost instantly.
this one's gimmicky though. I don't like Forbats because like I honestly, the people that listened to that first song that he dropped, that like come inside by 8 p.m. and send a text to your DM, like, did you really think that he was gonna do that forever? Like, do you really think that that's his actual voice? If you did, you're stupid. Like, I'm sorry, I saw right through it the whole time.
Mhm.
Like, this is fake. This is not real. This is a gimmick to get people to look at him. And as soon as people look at him, he's gonna take his career in a totally different direction.
Mhm. You were right,
I knew
dude.
it.
when everyone was asking, who's this guy? There were no interviews, no backlog of failed attempts, and to make things worse for those confused, 4Bats leaned into the mystery. His follow-up, Act 3 on God, only saw Bats' fame grow exponentially, and the crazy part about his meteoric rise, he did it all without a label, which only saw people grow even more suspicious for some reason. Fans looked for hidden hands, claiming he had secret
Here it
industry
is. Here it
backing,
is.
dubbing him an industry experiment, believing he was another famous artist in disguise or that he was AI. Yet there is zero concrete evidence of any label involvement during his rise. While managers were carefully crafting his aesthetic for maximum virality,
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, I guess.
his growth appears to be natural, pushed by social media algorithms rather than labels. So, is 4Bats a plant? Not that we know of. If anything, he has done what labels dream of, creating a unique image that generates gigantic numbers off the bat. See what I did there?
Dude, what he did is he skipped the label and directly just hired the people the label would have.
Yeah, he hired the people the label worked for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Off the bat, I'll see myself out. Was there anyone I missed? If there is, please comment below so I can make a follow-up video.
Kid Buu, trying to think just industry. Well, we could do 24K Golden.
Dude, like Post Malone, honestly, I would say, like, I love Post Malone, but he was for sure an industry plant. He blew up off his first song.
Everybody before Soldier Boy. Okay, Beyonce. Dude, y'all gonna hate
There
me
you
for
go.
that. Beyonce is an industry plant, dude. Are you kidding me? Dude, she's one of those where I'm like, I try to enjoy her music and I just can't. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, I swear the only people. Oh, I'm not gonna say that. Yo, but what do you think, Dalt? What do you think after taking all that in?
Dude, it made me reconsider what an industry plant really is. And now I don't really know. I feel like some of these people they worked and had the experience, and then they just happened to get signed early on and funded, and then some of them were pushed clearly and designed to go viral early on for the label.
Yeah, man.
Dude, and yeah,
It's weird
really,
to say. I guess we'll never really know what a true industry plant is.
dude, I'd say it's the way that things used to work before the internet. Like that was the true industry plant era. Because not only did the labels get to choose who goes on the radio, but there wasn't the internet. So the labels got to choose who you got to hear.
And they would paint their
Period.
own narrative. Yeah. They like people used to think artists were gods back in the day because the label was painting that narrative of like this person has superhuman abilities. That's why they're able to make this music. Like
They used to be able to paint the image so perfectly through late night interviews, talk shows, through music videos on MTV, through certain news articles coming out, magazine. They used to be able to paint the narrative because there was only 3 lanes to cover. There's only like 3 lanes, but now there's a billion different websites, different social medias, different all these things, where we can figure everything out, the truth about who they're trying to push down our throat.
Dude,
Yeah.
most famous and probably most talented musician ever was an industry plant. Michael Jackson.
Michael
From the
Jackson,
time he was
man.
5 years old.
5 years old. Yeah. He was curated to be a star.
Yep. And then yeah, he started to like have empathy for the people who weren't born into it, and at the end he started exposing some shaky things about the industry, which probably is leading to the conversation we're having right now. Like he saw it from the inside, and every once in a while he'd get on that stage. Everybody put your phones away, I want to tell you something. Put the cameras away. Literally. And then he'd be like, Sony is trying to take millions from me. But dude, we got more to react to. Let us know. Yeah. Let us know down below all the industry plants shit that we missed, that you guys think that should have been in this video and stuff. Let us know what to react to next. But we got more to react to, bro. This next one looks insane, guys. What the heck?
Oh my god, that dude's balls look like yoga balls.
Oh,
Why
dude.
are they yellow?
I'm clicking right away.